Hi, let's try the most significant features of the new Vantage 2.3 version. I will start with the skill designer. For this demo, let's take a built-in invoice skill, duplicate the skill, and edit the copy. I'm going to upload a sample document to show you what has changed in the skill designer's editor mode. In Vantage 2.3, you can now create a custom layout of the data form. In other words, you can flexibly change the order of the fields, for example, to match the layout on the image. First of all, I can now create a group to combine several fields into a field container. For example, all the business unit data can be consolidated under a group called Business Unit. At your convenience, the group can be shrunk and expanded. Now, if I click on the Layout button, all fields in the form will become adjustable. Drag and drop fields to change their position in whatever way you like. These thin purple guidelines will help you with the positioning. If necessary, you can change the gaps between the fields. Select a field, and then you can see the positioning properties on the Actions panel. Set the indentation property to None to eliminate the space between these fields, or select Custom and create a gap of a specific size. You can also set up the minimum and maximum width of the field. The minimum width will usually be used for an empty field, and it will expand to the right depending on the number of characters. So you can restrict this expansion via the maximum value. To have a field with a fixed size, just enter the same value for the minimum and maximum width. As you can see now, I have successfully arranged the fields the way I like. You'll be able to easily try this out for yourself. Now let's look at the Manual Review Client's new features. I'm going to send an invoice for processing using the Try Any Skill application. The process skill I'm selecting here includes the manual review step, which is exactly what I need. Our document is on the manual review step now, so I'm going to open the Manual Review Client. There are several errors that need my attention. I can see the total number of issues and progress through these issues using these arrows in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. But I prefer using the keyboard shortcuts, F4 to go to the next error, and Shift F4 to go to the previous error, or Control Enter to confirm the field's value and go to the next issue. I'd like to point out that with this custom layout of the data form, which is aligned to the real image layout, it is now easier to find fields. Another important feature of Vantage 2.3 is the addition of segregated access to different manual review steps. There are business processes where a given document should be verified by different manual review operators. For example, one operator confirms that the total was extracted correctly for all forms, since this is such an important field, and another operator can be assigned to verify and correct all the other fields with errors. Let me open the Users page and show you what has changed. To accomplish segregating access to review steps, two new user roles were implemented, the Manual Review Operator and the Processing Supervisor. The Manual Review Operator will receive tasks at the allowed manual review stages, which you can select here. These stages are created as separate manual review steps in a process skill. The Processing Supervisor will receive tasks at all manual review stages and has access to the skill monitor, where they will be able to manage different manual review stage queues for the specific skills, which you can select here. Let's see what this looks like on the skill monitor side. As a processing supervisor, I have access to this process skill, and if I filter by the manual review stages, I can see the queues inside the skill. Inside the queue, I will see a list of tasks and whether they are assigned to anyone or not. Now I can click Open and review this task myself. After I complete the review, I can forward this task to another stage and to another operator. This is also a new manual review feature. Now you may ask, What is the task sequencing logic within a queue? The overarching principle is that the operator-assigned review tasks go to the top of the operator's queue, and then the tasks which were not specifically assigned to any operator follow. Both groups are sorted from old to new. The oldest are queued for review first. That's it for the manual review updates. Let's briefly review the table extraction updates and then switch to the Advanced Designer. In the current release, Vantage is capable of extracting data from complex tables. By complex, we mean narrow tables, multiple tables within one document, and side-by-side tables, which we typically see in remittances. I'm going to upload a document to show you some table extraction results. As you can see, the table data was successfully extracted. There are still a couple of limitations that can decrease the extraction quality. First, tables can only be extracted correctly if the text is recognized. For example, sometimes very densely handwritten text in two adjacent fields can lead to bad quality recognition. These two fields will be recognized as one text object. Unfortunately, in this case, the detection of lines in the table will fail too. We're working hard to improve this, and for machine print text, this issue has already been eliminated. Just be aware, this can still happen with handwriting. A second limitation is that tables inside repeating groups are not trainable. That's it for some of the most interesting Vantage 2.3 updates. Now let's talk about the Advanced Designer. As you may already know, there is a new invoice splitter skill available on the ABBYY Marketplace that splits invoices sent in the same file and separates annex pages into non-invoice documents. What if I told you that in Advanced Designer, you can now create your own splitter skill for other document types? Well, it's true. A custom document splitter skill classifies pages, extracts header data from each page to help with splitting logic, and applies assembly rules, which help organize pages in their correct order and define which pages belong to the same documents. Each custom splitter skill requires a script to work properly. There can be different scenarios and different ways to address them, thus different script logic is needed. Let me show you an example of how it can be done. We are going to create a simple splitter skill that will split documents which have a date field on the first page. Let's create a splitter skill, then add a file which contains several documents. Each of these documents has a date field on the first page. On the Fields tab, I'm going to mark up the date field. Now let's proceed to the Activities tab, where I'm going to add the NER activity to the workflow. Before I add the NER activity, let's pause and briefly look at the changes in the Extraction Rules activity properties. You can see that the Element Properties pane has changed. There is an Advanced mode now, which provides access to an extended set of element properties, allowing for more flexible and complex object search conditions. But let's go back to the skill workflow. I don't need the Extraction Rules activity in this skill, so I will delete it. Now I'm going to add the NER activity. In the Activity Properties, I need to set up a search for the date field. After that, I'm going to adjust the splitter script activity and create a script that will separate the documents when the date field is located on the first page. Now our skill is ready and we can try it out. As you can see, this document splitter skill can successfully split the documents. That's it for some of the most significant, powerful, and useful new Vantage 2.3 updates. Thank you for watching.